This is Our View, brought to you by the proud members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. It's contract bargaining time, and a time for Federation members to unite for support, solidarity, and a bit of lunch hour fun with a message.
Today is about showing our support for the first day of the collective bargaining process. And we're here to show support for getting a cost of living increase for the state workers of Washington. It's been a long time that we've given our sweat and our blood for the state gladly, but it's time that we got a little bit back and we got a cost of living increase through this collective bargaining process. So we're here along with all my colleagues to show that support.
There's a place you can go with your union. If you're short on your dough, you just have it. And I'm sure you will find many ways to have a good time. Everybody needs a C-O-L-A. Everybody needs a C-O-L-A. Everything standing together now. No contract. C-O-L-A, everybody needs a C-O-L-A.
Events like we're having today are to engage our members, let them know what's happening, let them talk to the bargaining team, and actually let them know that their voice is actually part of bargaining. If management and the legislature know that we have hundreds or thousands of people out here that are saying that we deserve a raise, it's been 6 years, we're making less now than we did in 2009. If all of us are saying this together, unified, one voice, it really impacts the way that we get things in our contract. So this is exciting to me that we have so many people come out today and sing songs and celebrate the fact that we do have a voice. In this state, we have collective bargaining, we have the right to negotiate a contract, and we're doing it together. And there's 40,000 of us, and we're going to negotiate this contract together. We're going to have these events all over the state. I'm hoping every union member will come out and join us, just talk to the bargaining team, have a great time, and help us have our voice heard across this state.
The message isn't all about us. There are problems in some state agencies that affect the quality of the services we provide. One of those problems directly involves the children of the state who are in need of help.
Well, I think what we need to do to fix this is to really, appreciate the employees and the workers that we have and do something to retain employees. We're having people leave so rapidly and not have a desire to make this a career that workload issues are just out of control and skyrocketing.
Oh, be careful.
Caseload sizes in child family welfare services should be at 18 children or less. And we have people who have been here for 7-8 months and are carrying caseloads of 28 children and trying to maintain all of the policy requirements, all the documentation needs, keeping kids safe, reunifying families, providing services is nearly impossible when you have a caseload of 28. Well, I think families are paying a huge price with the lack of, experience that social workers are having and the amount of workload that they're requiring to carry. We're not able to do what we want to do, which is individualized work for families to meet the needs of the individual family, and that takes time and consideration and quality questioning, and it's not happening. And so kids, I think length of stays are increasing. We're not getting to permanence, so kids are returned home or in adoption or in guardianships at a quick enough pace, and things are just kind of going to be tumbling at a very slow rate.
So I would like to see a pay increase, but I would like to see a management that supports the staff and that we don't feel like we're bullied and that there's retaliation in the office for having a voice and sticking with the policies and sticking with what is in our contracts. I'd like that to change. Or we have so many kids that are coming into care because it's just so chaotic. We don't have enough workers that are sticking around to help because this work takes a whole toll on you emotionally and physically. And if you're not able to take care of yourself, you can't take care of your clients.
A recent gathering of women in construction from around the nation met in Sacramento. This was an opportunity to spread the word to other women that a union job in the buildings trade can lead to a much better life.
Impact in my life has made me feel a lot more self-motivated and made me realize there's a lot of things that I can do that I didn't think I could do before. If you can get into any pre-apprenticeship programs, that's a great start, but if not, always apply to any of the unions or any of the trades you would be interested in, even ones you're not really sure of.
Generational. My mother's in the union, all my uncles and cousins are union, and it was finally after me doing office work, I was like, I want to make that money too, and I joined the union. I went through an apprenticeship program, and I journeyed out, and from doing clerical work and making okay money to making a real good livable wage, and being able to buy my house on my own income and supporting 3 kids, big, huge difference.
Don't worry about what you don't know, and yes, you can do it. And all you have to do is go to work, join an apprenticeship, do your schoolwork, go to school, listen and learn, and do your best.
The union can protect your workplace. It give you benefits, health care, a good paying job, and a pension if you stay.
The reality is that we're reaching out, we're negotiating community workforce agreements, we're doing project labor agreements for you, we're providing the training at no cost, so you can come out of an apprenticeship program without any student loans with the capacity to make $50,000 to $70,000 a year as an entry-level journey-level worker. If you add up all the apprenticeship programs in the United States under the building trades, we would rate as the 5th or 6th largest university in the United States. I think it's really important to emphasize what is important as a business rep, what is important as a journey-level worker or a foreman, and there's some basic things you should do. You should accommodate the workers that are coming on your work site. We need to treat women, we need to treat everybody in our industry the same. What we need to do is embrace the abilities they bring. We need the workforce for the future, and we need the women to be successful.
A somber reminder from a Danish labor official. That is, while the 9/11 attack was horrible, we need to acknowledge that a year ago, half the number of those killed at 9/11 were killed at an unsafe workplace in Bangladesh. And maybe we might be just as horrified as workers around the world are often killed in great numbers.
This is just over 1 year and a few days since the accident of Rana Plaza, where over 1,000 workers working under terrible conditions were killed because of the collapse of the building. It was actually half the people that died at the World Trade Center. The world, when the Twin Towers were hit, the world were astonished and they said, we have to do something. Here we have 1,000 workers lost their lives and their livelihoods. OECD must say, global value chains has to take into consideration that workers' rights is a very important thing, and health and safety at work. I don't want to buy a t-shirt 10 euros cheaper when I know there's blood on it. And these examples are all over the world. So OECD must tell the world, actually, workers' rights is a universal right, and occupational safety and health is very, very important.
The Federation was recently given an award by the Olympia Kiwanis for participation in an important local event. We appreciate it, but being active in the community is one of the things unions do. And it was a reminder that when workers are doing better, the community does better too.
Is when workers have money to spend, the local economy does better. The middle class does better. Small businesses do better. All of us do better. Better wages create jobs. It creates revenue for the state and for those vital public services, and also for local nonprofits that do amazing work here in our communities. And lastly, better wages truly do lift people out of poverty and help them to be self-sufficient, and it helps families thrive.
This month, more from Ross Reeder, remembering Pete Seeger.
My final words on Pete Seeger. I'm envious of the several friends and acquaintances of mine who either got to see Pete Seeger often, or be in his presence at least once, or be mentored by him, or shake his hand. I saw him in person 3 times, and the first time was in the middle of the balcony of the Moore Theater in downtown Seattle in the early 90s. The theater was sold out, and we had bought our tickets just a couple of days after they were out, because they weren't hardly available after that. What struck me deeply was the aura of kind humanity that emanated from him. There was no halo, but there was this aura of a special person. The second and third times were in 1997, when the Pacific Northwest Labor History Conference was held in cooperation with the Harry Bridges Center for Labor Studies at University of Washington. It started with a concert at the arena at the Seattle Center. When he asked us to join him in song, my throat did it again. It choked up. And the third time was at the same conference when he joined the Seattle Labor Chorus at his first formal public performance. Each time he asked us to sing with him, my voice choked in emotion and would not function. There was something holy about that man.
This has been Our View, brought to you by the members of the Washington Federation of State Employees. We remind you, when you accept a paycheck for your hard work, you don't give up your rights. Thank you for watching.
You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt, but still like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom just 'cause I walk as if I have oil wells pumping in my living room? Just like suns and like moons, with the certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my sassiness upset you? Don't take it so hard just 'cause I laugh. As if I have gold mines digging in my own backyard. You can shoot me with your words. You can cut me with your lies. You can kill me with your hatefulness. But just like life, I'll rise. Does my sexiness offend you? Oh. Does it come as a surprise that I dance? As if I have diamonds at the meeting of my thighs. Out of the huts of history's shame I rise. Up from a past rooted in pain I rise. A black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling, I bear in the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into a daybreak miraculously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave. I am the hope and the dream of the slave. And so, naturally, there I go rising.